Okay, as promised today, the item that we're going to talk about, the marketing thought of the day, is what to do when we mail something that we know should get a good response and we get a poor response, or response that is less than expected. And I was really struggling with this, and it's actually hit us twice here in the past week. And I was doing some reading this morning, and I opened up my Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle $1 million swipe file of the month, and sure enough, I'm reading it in my son's orthodontist office, and there was the answer. Pretty cool. But anyhow, the idea is this. So you have three different variables to control: market, message, and media. And I'm just simply reiterating what Dan Kennedy has said, and also his predecessors as well. And if you want to learn more about Dan, you can go to dankennedy.com or gkic.com. But nonetheless, market, media, and message. So if we have a message that works and we're sending it to people that we believe are going to respond, for example, our referral source list or our past patient list, and we don't get the response that we expected, we need to re-examine that. And the one thing that I'm hearing as I talk with more and more private practice owners is this statement, or a variation of, and it's, my patients are very loyal to me. Or I've actually had this one, my patients love me. And that is fantastic, but when you don't get the response that you're looking for, when you do have an offer and you do market to them, then I may encourage you to think otherwise, and also look at repairing that. The goal isn't to argue about whether your patients are loyal or not. The goal is to get a response so that your practice can stay viable, and that you can keep your doors open and continuing to serve patients or grow your practice, or whatever that goal may be. So market, message, media. Also with the media, we know that direct mail works. So if we do a direct mail piece and it simply gets discarded, well, what can happen is that list is no longer valid. That list is no longer warm. It's perceived as a sales letter or something not of value. And the exact reference, and by the way, this was from Dean Killingbeck, and you can learn more about him at newcustomersnow.com, and I have no financial incentive for you to check him out other than your own private practice success. But anyhow, the one thing that he had was 3 keys to make a great event, and there's obviously a lot more content in here, but I don't think I'm allowed to share it with you. But he had a short list, and number 1 is a good mailing list. And what does he mean by that? Well, you know, like let's say a company has 500,000 emails of physical therapists all over the country, and they're selling continuing education. Well, if they have no affinity, if they have, you know, like I get Con Ed stuff every day about, it's like 5 or 6 pieces of mail every single day, plus maybe another dozen emails about continuing education courses going on at different universities, being provided by different companies, etc. I don't read all of them unless something really grabs my attention, unless I have an affinity for whoever's offering it. You know, so it's the same exact thing with your patients. If they're just used to every time that they pick up your piece of direct mail and they just, you know, toss it in the B pile, which is the trash can, then you need to do something to make that list warm again. You need to do something to grab their attention, to get them to read what you're sending them. So that is what we're talking about when we're talking about a good mailing list. A good mailing list will give you the return on your investment that you're looking for your marketing expenditures and your marketing investment. 2 quick examples. The first one, and I've talked with owners going both ways. So, and what I mean by that is going from a cash pay clinic back to insurance accepting, and I've talked with practice owners who are going from accepting insurance to a cash pay clinic. So let's take the latter as an example. So we're going from an insurance clinic to a cash pay clinic. And what is it exactly that we're looking for? Well, the first thing that you can assume is, you know, let's say we're charging $120 cash a visit, or I've heard therapists charging $300 a visit. cash pay. So what is it that we're looking for? One, we're looking for somebody who can afford that, right? And that very quickly and easily helps us sort our list. There are information centers such as InfoUSA or Reference USA or SRDS.com where you can buy list based on household income a year. So I would first look at that. The second thing I would look at is that they're married. And why do we want to market to somebody who's married for our cash pay clinic? Because once one member comes in, you're likely to get the spouse or the partner immediately, especially if they have something going on. So we get more return for our investment dollar if we focus on those two things within our list. The next item you want to look at is geography. So people who live close to your clinic, within the same zip code, within a short driving distance away that's at least convenient, and then we can expand from there. But there are the three variables that I would look to manage right away. And how do we build a good list? Well, we present them with an offer. Maybe it's a free report. Maybe we have a book that we've written or that we've white labeled, such as the book that I've done with on lower back pain that we've had other therapists publish and use that as a tool. So we get somebody to respond right away. We're then filtering into either an appointment, so it may be a free appointment, or if it's paid on the first day, we have some sort of guarantee around that cash pay visit. So the one that I've been running with now is Feel Better or It's Free as a unique selling proposition, and we have a guarantee behind that to get a response. So that is our message. We've very much narrowed down our market to get the best possible return, and the media is going to be direct mail unless somebody out there in cyberspace, private practice PT, has figured out a very good way to do it directly by email. But what I found is that now, if somebody takes the time to do a direct mail piece, you're basically saying, hey, look, I took the time to put this direct mail piece together. You're much less likely to throw it away than an email you can quickly and easily discard, especially if there's some volume to it. I'm not talking about a little 6x9 postcard. I mean, good 8-page sales letter with testimonials, etc. But anyhow, that's the cash pay clinic idea. So we want to get a responsive list. The other example is, as I mentioned previously, I was in the orthodontist this morning with my son, and this lady was walking across the waiting room with her 3 children, and it was the first time I had seen her in about 10 years. She was one of my very first patients here. She had this traumatic pelvic injury, and I stood up to shake her hand, and she recognized me, and she gave me a big hug right away. And I hadn't seen her in 10 years, but because we stayed in constant contact with her over those 10 years, and she's probably received close to 100, 120 pieces of mail from us, it was like she never left. And she gave me an update. These are my 3 kids. I have 2 sons and a daughter. They go to this school. It was like she never left. So a very warm list. Much more likely to get a response out of a warm list, a good mailing list, than you are a cold mailing list. So a cold mailing list could be people that haven't responded to you in a while, or a mailing list that you've just been focused on quantity and not providing a lot of value to and a lot of responsiveness to, and making offers. So I hope that helps you out, and tomorrow we will be covering 39 keys to marketing a private PT practice. Probably just going to pick the top 2 or 3. See you tomorrow.